still somewhat care about TF2, even though it's like a minimum level of care anyways. And yeah, Valve, what's stopping you from like adding maps for spring and summer while you're at it? Well, I guess my wish did come true even though it came very late, but finally a non-Halloween, non-Christmas TF2 update after at least half a decade without one. Are the maps added worth the wait? Let's find out. Also, side note, I was using my new headphones for this and I was playing with the audio setup, so some clips might be too loud or too quiet. Yeah, just a heads up. Cashworks is a linear map, and that either resulted in surprisingly good layout and the other ones that are questionable at best. I expected the sniper to dominate the map, but that surprisingly wasn't true. Yes, there are still some extremely good spots, but he's not a problem here.
The game said no.
No, Sin! Why? Sin, why? That's disgusting, Sin. What are you trying to do here?
Run. Behind you, the spy.
Shit.
You fuck.
Wait, JB, did you fall for that, JB? Wow.
The first point has a pretty good layout, but oftentimes the match moves too fast that the area becomes barely used. Most of the action takes place around the second point, and I have a very split feeling about it. On one hand, the verticality here is very good, and I love these little balconies. On the other hand, this whole path is so narrow that it heavily favors soldier and devilmen. As for the third point, I don't have an opinion about it. This is because the red team usually put all their energy into defending the second point most of the time, so this area pretty much becomes a freebie for the blue team. I was skeptical about the last point's layout because of how linear it is, but it plays surprisingly well. It has decent flank routes, and while there are choke points, the turn is at least wide enough so that spams made by both teams are minimized. Although I feel like this tunnel hallway thing is a death trap to anyone trying to go through it, and there's a dead end here for some reason.
I look at the Steam Workshop and I know why this map is like this. This shit was made in 2009!
There's a vault.
Oh, did we got?
Ah, yes!
Yeah.
The payload was our thermal drill.
A very complicated thermal drill.
Guys, the thermal drill, go push it.
Oh shit.
Yeah, what are you gonna do, huh? We have like 17 snipers, what the fuck?
Yes.
Just go, wait. What is this? What did they turn into?
Overall, Reckoner is a decent map. It's like a hybrid between Process and Gully Wash, in that the area is spaced out just enough so that walking is not tedious, like in Process, and the layout is an all-rounder for every class like in Gully Wash. I also like this twist that they give to the middle point, where the control point is actually below ground, instead of an elevated position like in other 5CP maps. The final point is a bit too easy to defend though, because the room is quite small and it forces the attacker to rush in.
Okay, look, if this shit doesn't end in 5 minutes, I'm gonna go switch map.
Just change different map.
Okay, you know what? We're not winning, so I'm just gonna switch. No.
We're so close, we're so close.
When if you die?
I did.
When do you die?
I did. JB.
No.
Well.
Yes! Yes! Let's go!
I remember back when I reviewed Fastlane, I did say that TF2's Orange Desert aesthetic is bland and it's not gonna age well. Phoenix proved me wrong. As for the gameplay, the first and second points are pretty good. The first point has these rock formations that gives jumping classes access to high ground. The second point has this good hybrid between open spaces and close quarters indoor areas. It also has a roof that the red team must control, because it gives the blue demoman and soldier a clear shot at the point. However, there are routes that you can miss very easily. Like this path that is so out of the way that people tend to forget it exists, and this door at blue spawn, which only opens once the first point is captured. And just like Cashworks, people don't really defend point C, for the same reason and different reason. The same reason is the red team focused so much on the second point, and the difference is that the area around this point is pretty cramped. So for defenders, it's not really favorable. Before the end of the line, the blue team must escort the payload up the lift, just like in High Tower. But this one is so much better because there are more paths available for both teams. And also because the lift here is so much bigger. Meanwhile in High Tower, the lift has the same size as a welcome mat.
By the way, guys, this is not based on an Overwatch map, so every Overwatch Joey done is completely invalid.
Why is so suspicious, Sombra? What do you call
Also, like,
It's a Sombra.
man, I wish Sombra.
What is a Sombra?
Sombra?
Apaganda las luces.
Sombra.
Teleporter online. The path is open. Did I say that right? Wait, who's Cassidy? You mean McCree?
McCree, yeah, McCree.
Just call him McCree, man. Why would you have to call him Cassidy?
What the fuck is a McCree? Never heard of it.
Yeah,
They changed his name for
Change his name, man.
because of the guy named after them.
You have to abandon peace and restore to extremism.
Those are the Mark 1 engines. I know those engines. I'm a fucking nerd.
Why are you such a... I don't understand train nerds, bro. What the fuck?
There's a certain magic that Steam engines like give to me basically.
Okay, look. The Steam... I don't know why would you fantasize or become nostalgic about the Steam engine because that thing took like 10 hours to power up.
I also remember saying Cascade is Nucleus but better. Well, forget about that because I judged it way too early. And Rotunda is now definitely a better Nucleus. It has the verticality that made me like Nucleus so much, while at the same time spawn camping is less likely to happen because the map is bigger. It's a very well designed map and just fun to play. There's also a moving train near your spawn which possibly exists to get you to the other part of the map faster, but it's just too slow to be useful in that regard.
Holy shit, a moving train? A moving train, yo! Oh, I can... Oh.
My only main gripe here is that the control point border blends in with the yellow floor. This leads to some people thinking they're capping the point even though they're not. Oh yeah, have I mentioned that this map takes place in Germany?
Guys, a fucking.
Oh!
That or they're being.
Wait, the sign is...
You stupid.
Betreibsleitstellen Überwachung. Yeah, got it. Achtung! Kontrollpunkt! Sanitäter! Mach schnell!
I really want to like Sharkbay because of the amount of detail it has. Like the live shark attack counter, the seagull which you can apparently stand on, the loading screen newspaper, stuff like that.
Why is there air vents in a shark tank?
It's okay, guys. I have
Among Us.
Those are
You know, to give air to the shark. It's simple. It's a simple answer. It's an air con for the shark. Don't question it.
But the map is so small. Like, I'm convinced Laughter is bigger than this. The moment a sentry shows up near the point, the other team straight up cannot capture it. And once the enemy team controls the point, they'll have no trouble going through your team's area and then your spawn. It got so bad my teammate paid the spawn camper to just fuck off.
For fuck's sake.
Wait, Bill just sent me a trading offer. Holy shit.
Come here. Whoa.
A trading offer?
The control point is being...
No, he's asking me to trade. I'm gonna fuck off. I'm gonna fuck off now. Hold on. He's actually giving me stuff. Yeah, he paid me her hat, his hat. His pyro hat.
Bribery.
You're... What?
Fucking bribery.
Sulfur is like steel. You can always cap the final point at any time as the blue team. However, if it's captured early, the red team will have a chance to take it back. It's an extremely interesting mechanic and I love it so much, because it makes both teams split up more than steel does. Partially because the map's layout is quite easier to learn than steel, because there are less points obviously, and the map has enough visual indicator for each of them. At the same time though, I feel like the blue team has next to no cover at all for point A and point B. I know this is to encourage using flank routes and the map's mechanic, but this might be too much for me.
Grab my hand, brother! Grab my hand! Can I help you?
Bruh.
Bruh, it's a what? You're not gonna die.
We're gonna commit to
We done
The blue team also tends to get lost where point C is, and I forgive them for this one because this gate takes like 10 years to open. Occasionally, the red team also somehow gets lost, despite having gigantic letters above their spawn room doors. I don't know how to explain this one.
No one's near fucking C.
You dumb motherfuckers!
The last point has an interesting dynamic to it, which makes me like it even more. It starts off with boiling water that damages you, and then the point gets raised higher with more routes opening, making both teams also having to adjust their tactics accordingly. But no matter what happens, there will always be that one scout, who is extremely determined to cap that point.
The fuck, he's going for the D again.
He's going for deep point. Here we can see you!
Yeah, I'm lagging, man.
No one capping D.
Shit.
Fuck you, winner. Fuck off.
What, Davey? I can cap it, so it's in the game rules, you know?
Bye. Fuck you. You got him
You gremlin. It's okay, I like that.
Fucking goblin.
Put a level 3 at D. Fuck.
I wanna go down.
What the fuck off, will you?
Davey, I'm allowed to cap this, so I will!
Don't care about the point, we have to stay the D point now. Fucking fall damage.
Okay, I gotta be honest, I legit cannot find a server running this map. I don't know how and why, but that is what happened to me. So I had to make do by playing on my own server with bots. One of my players said it's bad for low-end PC, and I guess that's fair, but a lot of maps have high performance these days. So take what I say here with a handful of salt. Hardwood's timer is too short. I think the maximum time for this map is like 6 minutes, so bumping it to 7 or 8 wouldn't hurt much. Also, the area around the first point is somewhat confusing to me. Like, even after playing the map for a few times, I still get lost going to point A. But the blue team should bring a teleporter because it is quite far from their spawn. The blue team tends to lose at the second point because the area around the point is very wide open. So the blue team is pretty much exposed while capping it.
Yeah, you guys keep getting cucked by a bot sentry bot. Dusty, he's already done something. He dominated one person from their team.
This window also has a wooden ramp for some reason. I don't know who's gonna use it because it doesn't have a good angle to jump off.
I have no idea. Oh my god, scout. So many pyros all over the places.
Oh shit. Hey, Dusty, you didn't see that, right?
Oh, damn it.
Man, this is pretty.
It's a void for me because I have a config.
It's a
What?
void for you.
What?
I just see the skybox because I have a config and it's just the skybox.
So midway through writing this review, this map got updated. Yeah, I had to rewrite this script again. But the first thought that came to me was something is wrong with the blue team new first spawn. While it doesn't have a glorified sniper balcony anymore, it's split into two without anything to connect both parts. And one of them is right next to the front line, which causes spawn camping to occasionally happen. I fully welcome the rework on the sniper sight line just because of how absurd they were. There are still some good spots, just not borderline unreachable like before. I think Venice's layout is mostly fine, even though there are dead ends that I question why they even exist. But this map has a big issue with navigation. I get lost way too many times in this map because everywhere looks the same. Team color is barely used, and when the map does, they just blend in with the environment.
Winter,
This is Venice?
Yes, it's called
Manila. Demolish the building.
Looks like Manila, man.
What the what? No, you don't just say that. No, fuck you.
Manila, boy. Hey, look at the water.
I am willing to let this slide because the mappers seem to be new to TF2 mapping, so I hope they improve. On the other hand, what the fuck is wrong with your QA team, Valve? From day one, my players have been asking for this map specifically. I don't really get it. But then again, I am not an animal person. Yeah, crucify me on that if you will.
He is fat because we're gonna eat him later, you know. There's a reason why we're feeding the seals. You think we're being nice to nature? No!
But at least we finally have a player destruction map that is not a Halloween one. It only took them 8 years. Although that also means this map might join Watergate in the abyss of forgotten game modes. This map is a lot better than every player destruction map we've got so far. It doesn't have any problem with engineers and snipers, unlike other player destruction maps. And the size of Selbyen is just right for this game mode.
We are in the seal. Haha.
That sounds wrong. That sounds wrong. Ayo.
It cleverly uses real-life colorful Norwegian houses to divide the map, and that's very cool. I do think that the way the seal moves kinda invites camping because it always spawns at the van. But I also have yet to encounter this problem, so I can't say much about it. And that was like my only gripe of this map. It's just that good.
Hey, the red team is capitalizing off the seal. Like their base is, in their base there's merch about the seal. What the fuck? Should we cancel the red team for exploiting the animal? Like I got the evidence.
Oh my god.
Why is there a fucking spectator cam that just like one of the spectator cam it's just seals? You're just looking at seals.
Yeah, it's seals. The seals see everything.
What?
Spoken.
I am fucking fast.
Wait, I just realized in the spawn there's a fucking group shower right in the open.
How is so cool.
What?
It's bonding, bro.
You know, I think we finally got a CTF map that doesn't have a sniper problem, doesn't have a sentry problem, and one that's not too small or too big. I just cannot believe it, but here we are. Pelican Peak is definitely the peak of CTF map design, and because there are so many paths to take, no classes are fully dominant here. I kinda like how the intel spot is similar to the spire from Badlands, but also toned down a bit in terms of verticality. Also, a way into the silver from your spawn would be nice because sometimes it also feels tedious to get there too. But yeah, this is a very good CTF map, and I'm looking forward to see it in the map rotation.
That sentry gun on the internet spot, don't trust him!
It's a sentry gun powered by Wi-Fi internet. It's powered by Wi-Fi.
It's powered by 5G.
Damn, wireless sentry?
Welcome to the internet.
Someone make a meme about that. Do you know the Russian Bluetooth shotgun? Yeah, put it on a sentry. Russia had a shotgun that has like it actually can a shotgun that has USB and Bluetooth. And
What the fuck? He just hit me from behind.
It also has a scoreboard for some reason. I don't know why.
A scoreboard? It's a kill streak counter.
So because Saxton Hale is very different from the other game modes, I'm gonna make a separate segment for it here. While I never played VSH that much, I was more into Randomizer, Times 10, and Slender Fortress, but I did play enough time to know what it was like. This right here is a gigantic improvement of what we had 10 years ago. Because as much as I like the community servers, they are both a blessing and a curse on the TF2 community. You have to wait for like 2 hours downloading 1 million custom file the server has, along with some other sound effect bullshit. When I was getting into Slender Fortress, it took me an hour and a half. And speaking as someone who has experience in hosting TF2 server, this makes the whole process in setting it up a lot easier. Putting in just RTD in my server was already exhausting for me. As for the gameplay, Hale's movement feels drastically smoother. Back then you had to look up for like 5 seconds to perform a super jump. Now you can just do it by double tapping spacebar. The HUD also makes learning to play as Hale a lot better. Back then you have like 5 seconds to read all of this before the round begins. I like how all of his abilities have their own purposes, but I kinda wanted him to be able to save his super punch and ground slam if he wants to do so. As for the red team, they're alright, but I think they buffed the medic way too much here. You know how the Uber Saw is the meta of any medic loadouts, right? Well, now hitting Hale with one gives him half the Uber charge meter. Combined with his damage reduction and increased Uber charge rate, he can very reliably get the Uber charge to save his ass. Also the Satoichi, the katana. Because you're merely always crit in this mode, by swarming Hale with a bunch of katana Demo Knights, if he cannot break out fast enough, he'll be surrounded with Demo Knights who'll never die. But apart from these issues, I think every class can fight against Hale with decent loadouts to choose from. I was very surprised to get 1.2k damage as combo pyro, but I didn't record that, so whoops. Anyway, let's move on to the maps. Man, I just want to like this map. It has decent layout that flows with the gameplay. It has hallways that are less claustrophobic than Nucleus. It has a cool gimmick where the red team spawns in different groups, causing them to be spread out and much easier target for Hale. But this might be a rare case of a map getting ruined by an Easter egg. Because this room, which is a slightly subtle reference to Five Nights at Freddy's, is quite infamous for being a premium tier camping spot. I mean, sure, Hale can just cap the point to win the game, but that doesn't solve the issue, because that means waiting, and waiting like this makes the gameplay stale.
Hey, someone play the recording so he goes to the other room. Hang on, I have to reboot Oxygen.
Oh, I didn't.
I think I see him on cam 1. Is that him? I can't really tell. Guys, stop! Don't close the door. We don't have enough power. I think we lost him. Is anyone still out there? Oh, close the door! He's here! Oh god! Ah! This is just a FNAF reference.
You ran off.
Distillery is the best map for this game mode, period. It has lots of open spaces, which is very fitting for the movement of VSH. And the tall buildings put a lot of focus on the wall climbing mechanic. It gives a lot more potential to classes with limited movement, like the Spy, the Sniper, the Heavy. Maybe too much potential because I died a few times as Hale, because I genuinely forgot the Sniper exists.
Oh shit! Oh my god! Hey boys! Making a mother of all unusual here, Jack! You can't hurt me, Jack! Not even with that butterfly knife! And from the ashes, a new TF2 will be reborn! Updated, but unpatched! You're not so different, you and I! Always kindled by the same spirit! Damn, he got Senator Armstrong got JFK.
I already talked about the normal Nucleus, which is not so different from this Nucleus, so here's a link on the upper right corner. This Nucleus is slightly different in that the control point is now on the bottom floor, which is a cool change. The pit in the middle is also replaced with a toxic pool, but it doesn't stop people from falling into it, or hell, even walking into it. However, even with all of these changes, I feel like VSH is not made for Nucleus. It's not rare for the red team to reach the middle area before the round even begins, so it's quite common to see Hale getting spawn camped. The corridors are also too narrow for the movement of this game mode, and that becomes very noticeable when you're playing as Hale.
Sir! Hale! Hale, wake up! Hale, wake up!
Yeah, kill him.
He's eating, guys, stop! Guys!
Die!
Man, what the what the fuck am I looking at? Ah, there we go. Judgment! Die! Crush! Creature of steel! Come fight me! Die in this now! Judgment!
I know it's a tradition to convert arena map into VSH maps, but Tiny Rock is just too small for that. Well, to be fair, it's right in the name, so I can't really blame it. But yeah, this one feels like cramming the VSH mode into the Vatican City size map and hope it works. I mean, the layout is there and it plays okay, but it also limits what you can do as Hale on the red team. Hale's agility is limited here because of the cave and narrow walkways. Meanwhile, the red team cannot use their wall climbing and jumping classes as nearly as good as the other maps. Yeah, it's not for me, sorry.
I like the implication here that like his left hand is actually stronger than his right hand. His left hand is for a man and right hand for a woman. Joker!
Batman.
Where is she? Where you take her, Joker?
I'm Robin the Boy Wonder, guys.
What have you done to my boy Wonder? Do you turn into a femboy?
He wasn't a twink, he was a muscly 9-year-old. Like, what the fuck? Seriously, I'm not joking, look it up.
Joker! You can't do this, Joker! I'm supposed to be the protagonist here. That last round was basically how I play Arkham City. I just keep button matching.
And that was the summer update of 2023. I think the map pool for this update was mostly positive. It's not the best update, but it's definitely not meteor match. I'm still not gonna forgive Valve for stealth editing the post though. That's just straight up misinformation no matter how you look at it. My favorite maps of this update are probably Sulfur and Rotunda. Sulfur took what Steel does and makes it better, while Rotunda is just a good map that looks unique and plays very well. And I totally did not expect VSH in this update. And I think by adding it, it shows people just how much the V-script is capable of, even though it crashed the casual servers for a few days. I'm not sure if it's gonna stay in matchmaking though. That's the concerning part. But that's all for this episode. See you in the next one for Battlefield and Bioshock crossovers in TF2.